So, have you been curious as to what you might have missed in Shadow Dragon? Well, this very short cutscene will tell you all you need to know. All the important plot details, like this very bored dragon man taking over Arcania. You'd think it would have been a foolish idea to go for the big country first, but nope. They went down easy. Her beloved homeland, which actually kinda sucked, if you think about it. I mean, look, Norda exists, therefore Arcania's kinda bad. It was the only time Marth had character in that game. He really didn't develop so much as he was just in one state and then he was in another. The Fire Emblem, if that is its real name. Hey everybody, I'm Marth. You haven't really seen me. I was a tiny child a few years ago. But yeah, I'm the ruler of Altia now. How's it going? Okay, the last battle was not this dramatic. The entire building did not collapse under Medius's weight. If I remember correctly, I just smacked him a few times and didn't even get a cool critical hit finisher, which is really a shame. I prefer to end final bosses with a crit if I can. Not that that's really a thing I have a choice over, but, you know, I can try. Alright, we got the best knights in the kingdom, right? Oh, who the hell are you? Okay, I'm not putting that on the application. Ah, yes, of course, the tiny child with the bowl cuts. Also known as the best knight in the kingdom. Oh, well, that seems easy enough. Let's just finish this up and then we'll break for lunch. Hey, Luke, can you maybe not? You've been here for less than 10 seconds and I hate you already? Well, first day on the job, I guess we're going to have to kill someone to prove that we're leadership material. I'm not afraid, but I don't want to touch you. It's one of those not even with a 5-foot pole situations. Wait, they weren't really making fun of Iris. One of them is just a gigantic idiot. That's dumb. Alright, so 2 Cavaliers versus someone who can shoot them from a distance. I don't know, I think we're at a disadvantage. Okay, cool, yeah. Please, be an idiot, I don't mind. Alright, let's show this group the real superpower of teamwork. But first, let's talk about Ryan. Okay, I'll be honest, I don't know what to say about Ryan. In my last LP, he turned out kinda bad after I said I'd never had a bad Ryan. Not to say he was horrible, because Ryan is still a fantastic archer, but still, his lack of speed did get in the way. So Ryan's stats are overall pretty good. He's got high skill, which makes him a really good archer, and he's got high HP, which makes him a really good tank. And as I said before, he's always turned out fine, and that will be true once I have erased the previous run from existence. That being said though, yeah, Ryan's really solid. His base stats are all a little low, but of course his good growth rates make up for that. Overall, I'd say he has two major setbacks. First off, while I do often get some good strength growth rates for him, he does have a pretty low max strength, which I know I don't show max stats on here, but trust me, it's not the best. But also he reaches it, which is another thing, but that's a story for another day. His other weakness is he's an archer, and I'm not saying that in the whole, oh, archers are always useless in every situation ever in Fire Emblem kind of way. No, I mean that in archers in the DS games have some horribly low movement. In a game where your average foot soldier gets some decent movement, 5 is horrible. The only characters with worse movement than archers are armor knights. So yeah, honestly one of Ryan's biggest drawbacks is it can be hard for him to reach the action. That being said though, if you're a little more patient or you tend to get blocked up in the middle of a map or something, Ryan is just going to come in and kind of wreck everyone's shit. Eventually. He's gotta grow first. Alright, so we're probably done talking about Ryan. Now, Luke can actually reach you from anywhere on the map from where he starts. The thing is, he's kind of a gigantic idiot, and even though he could attack Ryan without getting countered, he goes right for your avatar, my unit. So, just stand on a fortress, because those up your evasion and defense, and also they heal you on the beginning of every turn, so yeah, we kinda have the advantage here. Check it out! You can probably take a shot from Luke even without the fort, but like, you shouldn't. 'Cause Rhodey is still gonna fight us, so you're gonna want to be in as good a form as possible. Yep, too bad I have permadeath turned on, so he's dead forever and we're never going to see him again. Really big loss. Okay, so the advantage here is Rhodey doesn't actually start close enough to you to actually get you on the first turn, so if you need another turn to back off, you have time. I think he might actually attack Ryan though, and he also has a lance, and considering the sort of default class for my unit seems to be the sword fighters, he is going to have an advantage against you, unless of course you started as an axe-using class, so male my unit only. Of course that puts you at a disadvantage against Luke if you do that, and why would you want that? Never be at a disadvantage against Luke, that would just be the worst. Alright, and that takes care of that. Good job, Ryan. Too bad you didn't get a level off of that. Okay, cool. First order of business, Luke, you're fired. Yeah, to be fair, he's got a point. It would really suck to have to fight both of them at the same time at a low level. Excuse me, but I fight for my friends? Looks like Luke learned a lesson. Or maybe he didn't. Okay, Luke, I'm going to set your alarm clock for like 1 in the morning. Actually, like 2:48, just to be creative. How about no? Yeah, that's great. Guess I'm not going to be a legendary hero then. Luke, I'm going to flush all of your clothes down the toilet. I'll do it one at a time if I have to, but I'm going to do it. Alright, so that was Prologue 2. Now on to Prologue 3, because these are so short that I have to do them in pairs. Otherwise, we'd be here forever. Yeah, 7th Platoon, all here, +1. Luke keeps coming here. I fired him like a week ago. Could you take care of him? Hey, it's our old buddy Kane. I remember the days of Kane, when he just fucking crit a whole lot of guys on his own. For once, the game's actually correct about which characters I used in Shadow Dragon. Like Mercenary or Fighter, those guys are my best friends. I mean, we're going to be the ones fighting her. So she says Talus is mercenaries, but unfortunately these are just generic dudes. Anyway, let's talk about the Cavaliers. Luke sucks and I hate him. What, you want me to actually describe him? Fine. Alright, so his stats are actually really good. Like, all his growth rates are pretty solid. He's basically your strength-based Cavalier, meaning he's good with hitting things, and also his HP is fantastic, and he's going to get a lot of HP and be able to soak up a lot of hits, which is basically the only thing his stupid face is good for. If you use reclassing, it's actually possible to give Luke a class that puts his HP above 100. Meaning he will get a guaranteed 1 point of HP every level, and possibly another one. So, yeah, if you want to throw Luke into dangerous situations where he will be hit by a lot of sticks, but then survive, congrats, you've got a good Cavalier for the job. It should also be worth noting that he's also designated Sword Guy, but he doesn't need to use swords. But of course, that E rank in Lances means you do have to dedicate a lot more time to doing that, when you could just have him be a sword boy and just keep on trucking from there. That's what I'd do, but I don't use that idiot. Because I hate him. Did you realize I hated Luke? I don't know, I don't think I made that clear enough. By contrast, here we have this good boy Rhodey, whose name is now Roderick in the official translation, and I cannot fucking get used to that. Anyway though, whereas Luke was mainly focused on strength and HP, Rhodey is focused more on skill and speed, and also luck. Honestly though, his growth rates are still pretty solid as well. Obviously, your preference between Luke and Rhodey comes down to, do you prefer hardier knights who can hit things really well, or a knight who's really fast and might get some more critical hits? And of course he's the opposite of Luke in regards to his weapon choice. You can use swords, but with an E rank it will be a little annoying to actually train him using those. It really is just better to stick with lances. Maybe use a weapon scroll if you ever really have a pressing need to give swords to Rhodey. Well, at least one of them is good, right? Anyway, this chapter is basically just made so that you can take on these guys in one round. Especially if you start with a sword user. You're going to want to send Luke and your avatar this way, and a lucky crit will make this even easier. Meanwhile, Ryan and Rhodey should be... How did I get a point of magic? Okay, whatever. Anyway, Ryan and Rhodey can take these guys on, all by themselves. Isn't that great? Anyway, as I think I said before, this isn't Ogma and, like, one of the Axe Boys. No, it's just random mercenary and random fighter. And once you defeat them, Seda takes to the field. Now, remember what I said about flyer units back in DLC 1? You know, the fact that they're weak to arrows and wind magic, but, you know, we don't have wind magic, so next best thing, lure her out. And she says this, but she doesn't actually aggro until you're in her range, so, like, you can't bait her out by not being hit, and, you know, it's better to just sort of stay here, though. To be fair, she does have a lot of speed, so make sure whoever is taking a hit hasn't taken any damage, because she does pack quite a bit of punch, for a Pegasus Knight especially, but her speed is definitely going to hurt a lot. That being said, though, thanks to Ryan, we can just take her out in one shot. No problem at all. It's not a bad level up. As I'm sure future me mentioned, Ryan's pretty great. Okay, seriously, we've gotta stop throwing the best Knights of Altia at the new guys. We're going to make sure nobody succeeds in our tests because, like, the fucking Princess of Altia kicked their asses. That's a hell of a way to get fired. And not even fired, they didn't get hired in the first place. You just fucking fill out your application, you bring it into work, and then your potential boss just fucking decks you in the face and is like, nope, you're not getting hired, motherfucker. You can't take a hit, idiot. Okay, so, this is actually a choice that you're not going to see because it's on the bottom screen, but you can choose either yes or no, and that will actually affect something in the next chapter, which we'll see in the next episode. For the time being, though, you just have to know that Iris did actually do some reading. She knows how the last war went. The moral of the story is, yes, you can recruit new people, and we are basically going to cheat on our tests by hiring our boss. So instead of getting decked by the boss is just going to fucking do all our work for us, because she's really good and can fly on a Pegasus.